UNESCO Jakarta, Professor Syahbaz Khan. Hello, Professor Syahbaz Khan. It's such a pleasure to have you here with us today.
My pleasure.
I'd like to invite you to share with us your insights on this Spice Route initiative. We have your slide presentation here. Would you like us to share it with the audience?
That's very good. Excellent. So thank you very much, Ms. Devi. And it has been a wonderful day today. So the slides would be shared by you, or should I share them? Maybe I can.
We have your slide here. Could you please share the slide?
Let me see.
Yes, yes, we will share the slide for you.
Is it okay, the one I shared already?
Oh, you already? Oh, we have shared already. This is your presentation, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So listening this morning to all colleagues, it's very clear that Indonesia has so many achievements in UNESCO. And we have heard from Pak Kama, the excellent position of Indonesia among nations in all areas of UNESCO. And Pak Arif has also highlighted all excellent achievements, including the prizes. And I would also like to say that the work in the area of culture is well supported by Indonesia. And we have with us today our culture team led by Ms. Moi, so we will be happy to answer any questions. So considering what has been described already, including the nomination processes, I would limit my presentation to show some examples of the soft power, which Dr. Hassan has mentioned very eloquently, how the soft power and intercultural dialogue can be harnessed in the context of the shared maritime cultural heritage of Southeast Asia. And how can we safeguard, how can we revive it? It's really very rich heritage. It's a privilege to be in Indonesia. At the same time, I would like to also say this is understudied. The understanding of the shared maritime heritage of Southeast Asia needs a lot more emphasis and a lot more understanding. It's about people, it's about knowledge, it's about skills, religion, trade, and commodities. So all the soft powers come within that. So here we share with you some pictures, which of course show the communities which share the oceans, the special kind of ships and crafts, the religion. You also see the Borobudur. Also very importantly, there are many important skills like making paper. Of course, spices have been mentioned. But of course, there are important tangible and intangible heritage which combines together into this amazing Austronesian area. So the interest in maritime heritage is not unique to Indonesia. Dr. Hassan has also given us examples with China and India. And of course, with our colleagues from ICMOS, Pa Diki and Pa Sugiri has mentioned the need for regional cooperation. So here there is some example of interest into the international maritime heritage. Like for example, in the Pacific Ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean, and it links to so many nations. Also very importantly, close to us in Asia Pacific, the interest in China on the Silk Route, the maritime Silk Route. And then also very importantly, in India, which is linking with MOSAM, the trade winds, and then the Spanish Manila, Acapulco, Galleon trade route. So all of them have a lot of interest working together, understanding heritage, and it's many different aspects of our life which are connected together, which we can celebrate together. Here are some other examples of UNESCO projects. UNESCO is about peace and sustainable development. So it brings all those powers of intercultural dialogue. And so here there is a project about the Silk Routes, the dialogue on diversity and development, which links nations sharing the Silk Routes over centuries. Also, there is the slave route 1994 to 2014 project. And then there is the iron roads of Africa. And of course, in Central Asia, intercultural dialogue about here is an example of embroidery and the roads of Honduras, the Spain, the Arab and the Spain dialogue, which is there, and the shared heritage, which is there. Also, very importantly, it positions the nations to work together. It helps create sustainable development opportunities. So here is an example of the cultural roots of the Europe, and that's where we have, there are 38 thematic cultural roots shared by 50 countries, more than 1,000 stakeholders. So that shows the power of culture bringing nations together and the regional cooperation. Also, I would like to highlight here that there can be roots within countries. For example, here is an example from France, which is about branding and promotion of historical villages and towns of France. So imagine people going from one village to the next and understanding the beautiful heritage that promotes the tourism as well as the understanding of the culture there. Also in our region, we have the Mekong moments, which are common tourism among the 6 Mekong countries, and there are many stories to be told there. So amazing power of culture, the soft power, working together, creating peace, and very importantly, creating new opportunities for tourism and for sustainable development. Today, it has been mentioned about World Heritage lists. So I would like to draw your attention. Of course, Indonesia has its own share of World Heritage. Here are those roots of in the World Heritage list. So there are already inscribed cultural roots, and they may be within a country or they may be shared by more than one countries. So for example, if you look into one of the examples here, pilgrimage routes in the Key mountain range in Japan. So very interesting pilgrimage routes, but also there are routes, for example, shared by Argentina and the 5 Andean countries. So there has been those kind of inscriptions. There are quite a few interesting examples, and there can be many things we can learn from there as well. The Silk Roads have been mentioned, the network of Chang'an, Tian Shan corridor, which is shared by China, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, inscribed in 2014. So there are very good examples, and I'm sure what Indonesia is doing will add a great value to all of this. Then, of course, there is a tentative list. And tentative lists have many transnational routes, and in this regard, there can be routes which are like linked with more the culture, but also at the same time, I would like to draw your attention to the bird migration route in Egypt. So there are many of those examples which are examples from shared culture in many aspects. The temples, for example, the religious part, the trade part, but also our natural heritage like the bird routes. So very interesting examples which can be looked into both from the tentative list, and the effort of Indonesia certainly is a great one, bringing the spice routes together. Then also intangible cultural heritage is a very important aspect which we need to understand. And of course, today I'm wearing a batik, which is Indonesia's intangible heritage. And batik is also with other nations, but of course, Indonesia's batik is one of the best in the world, and it's part of our intangible heritage. Here is an example of intangible heritage shared by more than one nations. So falconry, shared by many nations, like from Europe, Germany, from Arab states, Saudi Arabia, Belgium, then you have UAE, Spain, France, Hungary, Italy. So this gives you an example of the power of culture, the soft power bringing nations together, sharing something very unique. It has been mentioned the outstanding universal values in and how we do understand them. So also here is another intangible heritage which is called Nowruz or Nowruz, which is like a special festival of spring. And here this festival is shared by many nations from Afghanistan all the way to Turkey. And their beautiful heritage working together, which brings many opportunities for present and future. I want to also give you an example, which is not necessarily inscribed on the World Heritage. There can be many interesting things which we can share together as long as there is a common theme. Here is an example of UNESCO New Delhi working with the government of Kerala on spice routes, bringing many nations together, chefs coming there with a common theme of how to use spices. So very interesting example here. And I'm also pleased to let you know that my colleague, Ms. Moisheba, was part of this initiative, so she will be able to give you more details. But also we have an amazing network of maritime museums across the region. So what can be our common narratives which can bring those museums together? So there can be many interesting things which can be thought, like, for example, ships, or there are special kind of maritime heritage which is shared by those museums. So we need to think carefully about what is the common theme, what is the common narrative. Then lastly, it was mentioned right at the beginning this morning that it's not only the heritage to be proud of. We need to bring our heritage for sustainable development and sustainable development goals. So here, there are some examples of maritime heritage and SDGs. So for example, with the mangroves and environmental protection, very interesting. And Indonesia has so many islands. This can be very interesting for Indonesia as well. Then also rehabilitating fishermen's villages. So that's where the disaster risk reduction, the areas related to tsunamis, for example, we have a very important tsunami information center here in Indonesia as a partnership between UNESCO and the BMKG and other partners here. Also, fight against pollution. Like plastic is a common enemy now, and there is a great initiative by the Indonesian government to get rid of plastics. So this can be also something common across the maritime related heritage. What about the social inclusion of the people sharing those seas? So very important also to making sure we leave no one behind, and that's very much about inclusivity and the work which the Indonesian government is doing to bring all those people together to share the benefits of development. Then also promoting local cultural industries and how women can be part of it. Those groups who are normally disadvantaged groups, how can we make sure that we bring them into the benefits of culture and sustainable development? So there can be many of those areas where we can promote a dialogue, we can build peace, we can bring the religion together, but at the same time, the soft power, as Dr. Hassan has mentioned, the soft power of culture where Indonesia can help the world through its excellent examples as well. Lastly, the 17 sustainable development goals we have, they can certainly benefit from our understanding of our shared culture, the maritime culture, the excellent World Heritage sites we have, the Man and Biosphere Reserve, biospheres we have, the geoparks we have in Indonesia. So our challenge is how do we bring the 17 sustainable development goals, right from having no poverty all the way to international cooperation, to have sustainable cities, to have industries which are sustainable, as well as understanding the climate change by using UNESCO sites and UNESCO connected sites by looking into our common heritage from the past to where we are in the present and how do we move to the future. I will leave it here. Of course, there has been a lot of discussion about nomination processes, which Professor Arif Rahman has shown us, including the dossiers. As also, there has been a great mention from Pa Hilmar about the outstanding universal values, and our colleagues from ICOMOS have also helped us. So I think we need to bring all those ideas together, and the ideas which Dr. Hassan have described in terms of the hard power and the soft power. This can become part of the discussion with our excellencies ambassadors, that how Indonesia positions itself. And it's not only for Indonesia, it is to have a peaceful and sustainable world together, where we can coexist with better understanding of our religions, of our cultures, and of our common understanding, creating intercultural dialogue and opportunities for everyone, leaving no one behind. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Professor Shahbazkan. Thank you for your presentation. It's interesting that you have showed us how there are vast dimensions of World Heritage, and that we should seek. The challenge is to link this heritage and this contextual issues